Joined now by the esteemed columnist of the Baltimore Sun, Peter Schmuck, who we haven't seen in about a month, but it's good to have him back here in Baltimore. He's been traveling all over the country in the summer. It must be nice to have a little bit of a summer break. I didn't know you could do that during the baseball season.
It is nice, Jim.
That's good. Well, J.J. Hardy is back in the lineup tonight. And the one thing about Hardy, and I think this is a testament to just how good he is, you don't realize how good he is till he isn't in the game and how that affects the Orioles.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jim. It's sort of both myself and J.J. Hardy coming back tonight is coincidental, but it makes complete sense.
I feel so comfortable now.
No, I mean, the thing you see with the J.J. Hardy is that it's not just what he does at shortstop. He affects everybody on the infield. And so when you put him back in the lineup, that allows Buck Showalter to do whatever he wants at third base. In this case, you're getting Kelly Johnson tonight because he wants to give him some at-bats and a chance to get out there and really get his feet on the ground with the team. But also, it just creates a situation where that defense can remain stable as it's been all year. I mean, you could see with him out of the lineup, things were just a little shakier than they normally are. And, when he comes back, not only at shortstop, not only because of the effect he has on a Jonathan Scope, which is very, very positive, not only the way he can position the infield to make the third base more effective, it's also in the lineup. Because they've lost, they've had these injuries to Manny Machado and Matt Wieters, you lose a J.J. Hardy even for a day or two. You can see that in the middle of the lineup, Jim.
All right, now last night in the game, a game won by the Orioles 5-4, the Birds ran into 2 outs on the bases. Alejandro Diaz was caught trying to steal third. Nelson Cruz out at second trying to advance on a throw to third. And prior to tonight's game, Buck Showalter was asked about that, about the exuberance the Orioles showed on the bases.
I don't live in that world. I want, Nelly feels that, go for it. Diaz feels that, go for it. If somebody wants to bunt with 2 strikes and 2 outs, man on third, I don't want them having that feeling of wondering. I don't want them going back to the hotel or their apartment and going, geez, I wish I'd have gone with the way I felt and was more aggressive with this pitch and threw that 3-2 changeup. I felt it was there. I mean, go for it. You can't have that mentality of on your heels. I mean, take it to the game. Not necessarily the opposition. Take it to the game. I thought it was important that Alejandro knew. It's fine. Nobody. He got thrown out first out at third, and all the critiquing of whatever. What's the right and wrong play? I mean, you know what the right and wrong play is? The team that's got more ducats than the other one at the end of the day. And there's a certain mentality you gain from doing that. I don't know. No. If I'd known how it turned out, I'd tell them all stay there. Or don't go now because you'll be out. I just saw in the Ouija board or whatever the hell that thing is, that you'll be out if you go, so don't go. I ain't got one of those in the dugout.
Well, that's why Buck is such a brilliant manager. He always has his players back, and that's really good encouragement. Go out there, be aggressive, leave it on the field. Don't dwell on what happened. Just go out and do it.
And, Jim, the beauty of Buck Showalter is this is a guy that everyone views as something of a control freak, but he really isn't. I mean, he's a control freak when it comes to the little things about putting things in the right place, putting things together, putting lineups together. He is a routine-oriented guy. When it comes to the players, he wants them on the field making judgments. Now, getting thrown out at third base with nobody out and a runner at first is not a smart play. We all know that. But he's got new players. He's trying to integrate them into the roster, and he wants them to be relaxed and to play the game. And so he's willing to let that mistake go. I've covered a lot of managers who would have taken that guy down in the tunnel and read him the riot act for breaking that cardinal rule that you don't make the first or last out of an inning at third base. But Buck's just not that guy. He has his own book.
Right.
That's the thing. And Buck has his own book. And most of the fundamentals that you'd see in anybody's book will be in there, but he just has a little bit different way of handling players, and he's evolved since he began as a major league manager. It's very, very fun to watch how he develops players and makes players feel comfortable in that clubhouse.
All right, now another topic that is beginning to come up at Buck's press briefing daily is the magic number. Came up yesterday, came up again today. We all know it's 17. Buck doesn't want to talk about it, but the Orioles are in a favorable position here. They have a big enough lead that they don't have to dwell feel on it. They could just sit back and let it happen.
Absolutely, and that's a two-edged sword too, because they have the biggest division lead in baseball. That's, they haven't locked up the division title, but I think it's pretty obvious that it would take a minor miracle for the New York Yankees to rally and upend them at the end of the season. But the other trick here is to keep the team intense all the way to the end. We'll see how this goes over the next week or two. Once they clinch, then Buck has to walk that fine line between resting guys and keeping them intense and moving into the postseason with an edge. And it's not an easy thing to do, and lots of teams with big leads at the end of the season have fallen flat in the postseason.
All right, well, if my math is correct, the earliest the Orioles can clinch is the beginning of the next homestand when they have the Yankees in town for a 4-game series, beginning with that day-night doubleheader. And you think they'd love to clinch against the Yankees?
Yeah,
mathematically, that might be possible.
That would just be a shame to clinch the division title during Derek Jeter's farewell to Baltimore. I would be just broken up about that.
All right, Peter Schmuck, follow him at BaltimoreSun.com, and, of course, pick up the newspaper, and good to have you back.